Hey there, welcome back for episode 8 of Rip Returns, a series of videos where I go back to games that I never beat as a kid, namely Super Mario Bros. In this case, and try to recover a little bit of the glory that I couldn't obtain back then. This isn't a lawless procedure. Here is how we're going to go about it. I have 3 rules, the first of which is to know my limits, in which case I mean I don't have the skills that I thought I had as a kid, if I ever had any. So I need to approach the game as if I am learning, and not with an established skill base that I don't actually have. Second is to earn my warps. You'll notice the only warp that I'm going to use here is the warp from World 1 Level 2 to World 3, which I am using because I believe I can successfully conquer Worlds 1 and 2 without anything serious getting in my way, so I want to move forward to 3 without risking the loss of lives, or more importantly, without wasting time. That does potentially cost me a few lives, but it also gives me a faster shot at the 3-1 life-gaining trick, so I think it's worth it. The third step is to let it happen. Because I don't have my skills, because I have to earn my warps and frankly everything else, I need to accept that I'm going to die a lot. And because of that, I need to not do things like reset or take what some people would call strategic deaths to get back with more lives quicker or anything like that. Any experience gained, no matter how paltry it might be, is still experience and worth having. So with those rules in mind, let's get started with our new episode. And hold on to your butts, boys and girls, because I'm calling this one, Episode 8, Disaster Piece Theater. Let's fast forward to the rough parts. If today has a theme, then I suppose it would be the concept of death clustering, a concept that dying begets dying, rather that dying creates a cycle of frustration and impatience that just causes you to be more likely to die. And frankly, I consider that, as we make a very stupid death, to be a reason that I need to let things happen. If you reset when you die, especially if you, like, I don't know, make a couple of cheap deaths and end up with 1 life and just decide to reset, what you're doing, I believe, is reinforcing that concept that dying breeds death. So you have to play it out. You have to knuckle down and really just try to force your way through. Even if you're unsuccessful, I think that is better for your mental health as a Mario player, if such a thing is even really all that important, that you don't just reset and queue yourself up for an additional death. Sure, you may do a lot better on the next run, but you could also extend a 1 life remaining desperation run for another level or 2, and I think that's important. And as you're about to see, we're going to have some thinking to do along those lines. So here I am, I'm down to 1 life. I've taken 3 quick, clownish deaths that are just absolutely embarrassing. This is where you have to gut it out. Where you have to make yourself trust your own process, I would say. Here, I'm doing things like that little backwards jump onto the girder that I wouldn't normally bother with. Things that, honestly, I would think are actually kind of stupid to do, even in a successful run where I'm doing well. But I'm finding myself in a place where slight recklessness is going to elevate my gameplay, just barely. I'm not, going to become Superman with 1 life left. But it's forcing me to make more thoughts about my decision-making than I do when I'm playing fully instinctually, which of course is the way that I grew up playing Mario. The reason that Gimli the Dwarf pops up whenever we beat a level is because I am thinking in terms of what I'm doing, going straight ahead, bash, 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 like a dwarf. Sometimes you need to break that mentally, and I think that is part of, learning the skill base that we talked about earlier, trying to find my limits, break them, and reforge myself as a slightly better Mario player than I've been in the past. But as you can see, we just summoned up Gimli on a 1 life run. We are having some success here. We're getting some things done. So we're going to fast forward straight into World 4 and keep going. Now, I would call that a very strong 4-1, especially since 4-1 was a level that was especially intimidating to me as a kid, when I would frequently warp straight here, which was a terrible idea, and why I need to earn my warps now to, prove that I have the skills to get through it. But I'm coming through 4-1 with the Fire Flower. I'm on the verge of getting an extra life. I'm in really good shape right here. And I need to just, continue to play well without getting too instinctual, but remaining kind of instinctual, because that is the type of game Mario is. When I say that I, used to just plow ahead, that is both the right and wrong way to play the game, in my opinion. This game, not so much, but when you get into Mario 3 and the later games, I think it is very much a better strategy to play more instinctually than anything else. Because ultimately, it's a game of reflexes and first shots. It's like that, thought that you always want to go with your first answer on a test, because your first answer is more likely than not the right one. And I think that's basically the way Mario works for me. Maybe I'm just too simple to understand a better way. But I do think that in later games, at least, a bit of pig-headed forward, running madness is the right way to go about it. In this one, though, I think that there's a little bit more of a need to sit back, sometimes to stop and think and plan out a jump, because the game is a little less forgiving physics-wise and doesn't quite have some of the fineries that we expect of the later Mario games. But regardless of that, we've just gotten through 4-2 in great shape. We've still got fire, we've got an extra life. You can't really ask for more. Of course, there is a downside to that full-on, full steam ahead, pig-headed Super Mario playing, and it's this. Yeah, that was just really bad, and it's because I just wanted to take a big old jump. I didn't need to do it. I could have easily done it a better way. I just didn't. So that's part of the whole learning curve. Learning the times when I can make the big jump, and the times when instead of yelling Frodo Swaggins, I should actually take 2 jumps and successfully get to the end of the level with a life that I've worked really hard to earn, for crap's sake. Oh well. And as our good friend Gimli points out, we've now made it through 2 worlds, beaten Bowser twice, since we knocked ourselves so ignominiously down to 1 life. And granted, we're down to 1 life again, but a little of sweet, sweet Mario playing right here, and a trick that I sadly don't do often enough, even by the end of this. I get an extra life. I'm doing well right now. So I just need to, ride that through. Make the right decisions. Learn things. Gain experience. Have fun. Kick a hobo. Wait, no. No, that's not right. Alright, Mario, old boy. Doing good, doing well. Nothing bad. Headshot! Alright, we're going into 5-4 with the Widowmaker Fire Bar. And here, well, we're going to die terribly. But you're going to see just the slightest hint in this next attempt here of understanding being gained. Watch how I approach. First I stand in mortal fear of a Pootaboo. Then I come up and think about doing a leap up onto the top of the box. And that is the beginning of the correct strategy. We're going to have to, you know, do a little playing to get back there, though. Alright, 5 fat lives and we're back to 5-4. We've got a nice fat power-up, everything's going good. You see, well... Okay, that went terribly. Yeah, that went terribly. Let's give it another shot now that we actually need that power-up to get through the level. Well, I mean, we don't technically need it, I guess, but I want it. I want it a lot. So we're gonna come up, jump on the box, jump over the fire bar. Good job. Jump over the fire bar. Good, that's not bad. Get up on the box to get the mushrooms. That's excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just seen a perfect, well, you know, mostly perfect. I didn't need to jump up there twice before getting the power up. And then I lost the power up. Either way, though, that was the correct strategy for that particular situation. So I have now established that I can do it. I've ruined it, but I have established that I can do it. I do understand, and I think that's important. I'm going to have to quickly edit out a pause for a phone break here, and then I'm going to head back for another shot. Now that we've established that I know what I'm... Yeah. Anyway, now I get another shot, now that we've established that I know what I'm doing. Take my time. Get up there, up on the... Nope. Oh, nope. No. Alright. Now I get another shot with 1 life left to establish that I still really do actually 100% know what I'm doing. We're going to make the approach. No. Clustering deaths, ladies and gentlemen. Clustering deaths. I think I've proven that I can get through at least 5-1, so I'm going to just fast forward until we get to the entrances and stuff. That is why I never played Pitfall. Alright, we've already thrown about 6 lives away on this. Let's give it another shot. Step 1, well done. Step 2, well done. Step 3, less well done. Okay, so that's like what, 9,000 lives lost on that now? Either way. Let's go. Step 1, perfect. Step 2, perfect. Step 3, minorly botched. Step 4, excellent, and we're off to the races. Very well done, Mario. Here I'm going to try a little bit of a different strategy, something that I did not at all intend beforehand. It just seemed like a good idea at the spur of the moment. And as you're going to see, it's, you know, mixed results, but we got the axe. So that's something. Alright, it is World 6, and that can only mean it's time for another installment of Disaster Piece Theater. Yeah, I don't even want to comment on what's about to happen. And with that final ugly death, I think we're going to go ahead and call it an episode of sad sadness. See you next time on Rip Returns.